curse removal. People can have terrible problems in their lives, and one of the causes for the problems they can suffer, this can be health problems, it can be attitude to life, it can be really major things like mental illness, depression. Well, what I want to explain to you is that many of these really difficult health problems that people experience are actually caused by other people misusing the power of the word. So everyone who can speak has the ability to use the word, and what most people don't know is that's a very great power. So what I'm actually saying is something very revolutionary. All human beings are magicians, and the difference between a black magician and a white magician is a black magician will use the power of their word to hurt other people. Now sadly they mostly don't know they're doing this, so if some mother is saying to a little 2-year-old child who drops something on the floor, "You stupid idiot," they don't realise that they're actually being a black magician and using the power of the word. And I guess what? If that mother says those words to that child often enough, surprise to surprise, yes, the child grows up stupid. I have extreme personal experience of this, having worked in the teaching profession. I remember teaching 2 young girls who were 12 years old, and after I'd been with them for a short period of time, I realised that neither of them could read. When I started to listen to them about their lives, I became very keenly aware they'd both been cursed by their parents. Their parents had told them over and over again, maybe hundreds or even thousands of times, how stupid they were. Guess what? They were now unable to read. So power of the word and cursing, this is a really big subject. In fact, this is such a big subject that some people would find it quite disturbing even to listen to. So bottom line is as follows. The majority of the population have been cursed, usually by parents, sometimes by teachers, could even be by friends or by family members or relatives, or it could be other adults that perhaps might have been in some other way abusive. Well, what we do in shamanism is we do the journeying work to find out exactly what the curses are, and we have a very simple procedure to remove these curses, which fortunately doesn't take long at all. Once these curses are out of your system, it means that you, for the first time in your life, are able to operate without literally having your mentality and your emotional bodies ham-fisted by these really difficult thought forms. So imagine someone's been told over and over again how clumsy they are. They grow up clumsy. Then they're constantly in situations where they're dropping things and bashing into things and breaking things. Once the curse removal is done and has been completed, that person is now able to wake up the following morning and operate from a place whereby they are no longer the victim of those curse words. So suddenly they don't need to be clumsy anymore. That's just a simple example of curse removal. It can work for very big things too. The most extreme example of a curse that I know of is what I call an ancestral curse, whereby one person grows up at a certain point in their life, they get an illness, a mystery illness, and then they die. And their child grows up, and guess what? At the same age, the child gets the same mystery illness. If nothing's done about it, that child will die again. So it's a really serious issue, this. And I have actually been the victim of one myself from my father, which he definitely had passed down from his father, and it was a certain age he became unable to work. And at a certain age I became unable to work too. So these things are of really big and significant content. I also had someone come to me recently who admitted that their father had a stroke, and the reason why they come to me was they were in hospital and they had a stroke. So by going into the ancestry, what we can do is we can actually go even further back than, say, parents or teachers or fellow children in the playground. We can go to places generations before and remove curses that may have been in there for a long, long time, generation after generation. And that really is my cue to speak about something slightly different, but it's very related, and this is ancestral family healing. It is possible through the most recent research methods, which have been developed only this year, to take what I would call a classic universal soul retrieval or negative energy removal for a person, and rather than confining it just that person, what it is possible to do is it's possible to go further out and to actually go through that person's incarnations and also through the generations. Now this needs to be done in a very specific way, and what I require 2 generations. So for example, a father and a daughter, or a mother and a son. It could be a person in their 30s and someone in their 60s, or it could be a child and someone in their 20s. The important thing is that I get the two generations, and when the two generations have been given the healing, whether it's removal of negative energies or a full universal soul retrieval, once that's been done, we're able to offer something new which actually extends all the way along the timelines, which means that ancestors get the healing benefits that you've got, and in some way which I don't fully understand yet, that gives even greater benefits to the client, because they're no longer influenced by an ancestral pattern, such as the pattern that I experienced myself of suddenly being unable to work at a certain age, just like my father and just like the generation before him.